What's going on, guys? How's it going? Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are doing great. New mic. Had some issues. Took a couple days off, but I'm back with a big announcement. I hope it doesn't pick up my slurping. New view as well. I kind of switched my cameras around. I think I prefer this one here. This is a much better camera. It's a DSLR for when I'm chatting with you guys. And then the other camera, which is a little shitty webcam, that'll be for when I'm actually doing some writing, which I need to do more of because I'm behind on about 500 deadlines. Also got my cool lights. I had the Nano Leaf for a long time downstairs, but now I put it up where I stream. And I hope before the big announcement, you guys could test it out a little bit. If you hit that like, you should see it flash blue or purple or red, depending on where you're watching it. So someone hit that like for me and let me know if you see it flash. In the interim, I'm going to sip my coffee. Number 4 of the day. I am super excited. Super excited because at long last, the merch came in. And of course, thank you, Candace. Did not work, so I'll have to fuck around with that a little bit, get it to work. Maybe only for new follows, I don't know. But I appreciate that, Candace. Listen, the merch finally arrived. The gear is up. It's ready to go. This is just another way that you can support the stream and your favorite characters. So I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Not going to lie, I already looked at it. I had to make sure. What's up, Lisa? I had to make sure that it was up to par. You know how it is. You order shit on the internet. You set it up the best way you can, pick the highest quality items, and you just hope for the best. In this case, the quality is outstanding. I'm super happy with all the designs. All right. Got some new sound effects here. Thanks, Brooke. I'm going to start with the shirt that I'm wearing here. Hey, Brooke. My personal favorite. I'm going to try to show you here. Hold on. Here we go. So this is obviously Drake. This is the Skeleton King. This is the butterfly. It's super soft. The printing on it is great quality. And also on the sleeve here, I don't know if you can see that. No, biceps are too big. It's got a little pathological ink on the side. So this is my personal favorite. I'm going to drop as I go through the merch reveal, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat so you guys can hit it. But this one's Drake's. We got a whole box of shit to go through. I got the Thrilligan cap, all black, which is super dope. And then on the back, it's got the small pathological ink in black and white. So this is what I'm going to be rocking on stream for most of the time when I don't have, I'm not in the mood or I don't have the time to fix this beautiful golden lock. So that is awesome. If you want to rep the Thrilligan gear, I highly recommend the cap. Snapback, by the way. What else do we got in this box? here we go. More Drake gear. So if this is a bit too bold, the huge design, I got the similar one, only a little bit more subdued here. So you got the small Drake. Man, I can never get used to this mirrored effect. The small Drake logo here with the butterfly, the Skeleton King. And then again on the sleeve, you got the small Pathological Ink logo. Which, by the way, I'm super stoked that you guys picked this one when I post on Facebook because it was my favorite as well. All right. So that's the second one of Drake's gear. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Not everything arrived yet. All like the clothing and also some accessories came, but I still have coffee mugs and notepads, which should be coming in a few days, and I'll reveal those on stream as well. I worked closely with my cover designer who designed all of the first like maybe 6 Chase covers and all of the Drake covers to make this merch, and I couldn't be happier, like I said. So I got a tote bag, and there's Chase. What's up, Victoria? It's got "You Love the Chase" on the front and back, and at the very bottom just the Pathological Ink logo. And yeah, so it's a tote bag. So this is the primary design that I use for most of the Chase gear. Again, it's super dope. Came out awesome. The hardest one to really do was the Beckett one. So we had to come up with something I think represented Beckett, but I don't know how to do that, make it like PG or whatnot. So we went with a "Just Killing It" motto, which is, there are a bunch of different colorways, by the way, on for sale. Just I like the black, and for Ashley I got like the heather, like the, I don't know, I think it's heather. It's like a white but with like the gray flecks, and I'll show you in a minute. So this is, hey Linda, what's going on? So this is the repping Beckett shirt. So we have the logo. Oh my God, this mirror effect. So we have the "Just Killing It" here in a heart and blood because, you know, Beckett's a lovable guy, but he does some bad things. And again, on the sleeves, it's just got that little Pathological Ink logo that the camera has a hard time picking up. There we go. Yeah, so that's kind of what I went with Beckett. I went for with Beckett, the "Just Killing It" in the blood, the heart-shaped blood. We got one of these gaiters. So this is kind of like looks like a quadruple XL condom, although I wouldn't recommend it with the hole in the middle. But yeah, you wear this like a face mask, and again, it says "Just Killing It" on it, and then the small logo at the bottom there. But you know, it's all bunched up, and you put it on. Hey, Ma, I'm just killing it. The slurping dude. Well, with the new microphone, I think this is pure ASMR. There you go. That's just for you and your daughter there, Victoria. So yeah, we got the gator with the "Just Killing It" on it. What else do we got? I think Ashley already nabbed one of the t-shirts. Oh, I see it. Okay, so now we got the Chase gear. So this one is, we got the Pathological Ink on the front, just the small logo, and on the back, very similar to the bag. Actually, it's the same as the tote bag. So you got the "You Love the Chase," kind of a slogan, play on words. You know how it is. But I could tell you, this is super high quality shit. I haven't washed it yet, but there's no chance it's gonna come off in the wash. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab one more of the Chase shirts, different design. She stole it. She was wearing it already, so similar kind of thing, but we got "You Love the Chase" on the front, and then on the back you have just the logo without the words. So if you want to rep Chase gear, that's your chance. And then the very last item that I have here today. Like I said, there's a mug coming. There are some notepads that are super cool, and they're coming too. And I'll reveal those when I get them. But I got this super comfy, fluffy, um, zip up hoodie. We've got the Drake logo on the back, and then on the sleeve. Where are you? Where are you? There we are. On the outside of the right sleeve, we're repping DSL. Okay, DSLH Investigations. So that way you're not just supporting the stream and Drake, but you're supporting all the characters. Screech, Leroy, Hannah, everyone involved, DSLH. So that's what I want to show you guys today. I'm super happy with how it all came out. You know what you're getting for your birthday? I think it's a pretty dope present. I'm going to drop a pin comment with the link in the chat, and then I'll post it all over social media in a bit. I just wanted to give you guys first to show you what's up. Yeah, the hoodie is awesome. It's my favorite for sure. The problem is whenever I have a super comfy hoodie, Ashley always takes it and wears it all the time. So be aware for any of the dudes out there buying gear. The wife's going to steal it for sure. Let me hit a pinned comment so you guys can take a look. Shipping wasn't that bad either. I know they're working at like 50% capacity, but I still got it in about 2 weeks, and I'm in Canada, and usually it takes forever for stuff that comes from the US or overseas to get here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, I'm gonna pin this comment here. So that's the link there. Yeah, I'm gonna link it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere I can. So if you guys want to pick something up for the holidays, again, it really helps out the stream, supports the stream, but I think it's pretty dope wear regardless. Oh, all right. So I'm back. It's been a slice. It's her hoodie. Yeah, that's what she thinks. Everything's hers apparently. So I'm back. I got to get some work done today. I'm glad you guys come join. I'm going to do adverse effects. Keep going on that. Got a bunch of deadlines. But unfortunately, no gym stories. Gyms are still closed. So I've been doing some running outside. Running. Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun. Trying to stay sane. I know shit's crazy. Got the U.S. election going on. We have shutdowns, lockdowns everywhere. It's a crazy time, man. So reading books, being entertained, take your mind off real life for a little bit. You know, there was a time when my books were not so much an escape because they were, because of their content, but now I feel like the world is so crazy that the books are more normal than real life. Got some cool sound effects. All right, let's switch over here. There you go. I can assure you that my real face coloring is the other camera, not this one. This one makes me look a little sickly. But I got the lights behind me. I don't know if you can see. Bam. Oh, you know what? I forgot to turn one of them on. Give me a sec. There we go. There we go. Get the eerie vibes. Yeah, and this is the merch store. We got all sorts of gear. The notepads I'm super excited about. I don't really write notepads. I know a lot of writers, they love to do longhand writing and write their ideas or even their actual books. Seems crazy to me, longhand, but I don't do that. I think one of my daughters already claimed these notepads that are coming in, but you can always find a use for them. Oh, and then I got this awesome desk pad. Right now, I have this giant black. I get it's like a mouse pad, but my keyboard sits on it and my mouse. And so I'm hoping to replace it with this one, with You Love the Chase. The gator, the hoodie. Again, a couple different colorways here. There's the heather. Is that heather? Dark gray heather. Yeah, the blue. I went the plain black. Yeah, you can muck around with it. There's so much stuff I can make, though. Like, legit, you could do everything from giant beanbag chairs with the whole thing covered with whatever. You could do shoes. I think I might do. I love long sleeve T-shirts for some reason. I run super hot all year round. I'm the loser who wears shorts in the winter. I love feeling cold as opposed to hot. And long sleeve T-shirts are kind of that in between, and I can wear them all year round outdoors, and so on. So I think I might do a couple long sleeve T-shirts. We'll see. And I'm also thinking about doing some very special designs for a limited time. I'll have to work that out, though. All this stuff takes time. All of it takes time. Coordinating with the designer. It costs money, too, but it's besides the point. All right, so we left off. A week ago? Something like that? About a week ago, we left off with Chase. We just finished the first... No, actually, I didn't give you any credit. Listen, no troll on the stream. Yeah, Ashley came to help me with the idea for the design. My cover guy is great, and he can come up with awesome digital art. But when it comes to the actual design, it's really up to me to figure out what I want, what's representative of the characters, and also I wanted something that wasn't just like one of the covers plastered on a shirt. I wanted to have gear that I think people would wear. That people would wear in general. So that's kind of what I went with. And yeah, and Ashley helped come up with the You Love the Chase, which, you know, everyone loves Chase. Okay, so we left off last week. We had just finished part 1. We had rocked out about 30... Okay, I don't remember 30,000 words, but okay. 30,000 words. We finished part 1. Part 1 was kind of like a big lead up. It was our reintroduction to Chase in her new life after everything that happened with her sister, and now she's the primary guardian for the niece and that sort of thing. So, and her the complications she had with whether or not she should return to the FBI. And then we had Floyd as well, one of my favorite characters. Get out of here. Floyd, one of my favorite characters, who kind of was struggling with his new responsibility of being a solo FBI agent on a new case in New York City. But we had them now obviously coalescing, coming together, and that's where we're at right now. So we are going to continue on that thread. We're going to write part 2 today, at least a section of it. And when I was out today going for a run, I actually thought of the exact ending of the book. So I told you guys I don't really plan things out. I just roll with it. Partly because I know these characters so well, and partly because I've written, about 50 books or so. So I kind of know how to navigate the story. But I often come up with like 1 or 2 lines or 1 phrase or 1 idea that I need to fit in somewhere. In this case, it happened to be the very ending of the book. And it's not going to be a cliffhanger per se, but it's going to have like this open aspect to it that I will address in the following book, which is already dead. All right, so I'm super happy about that. Oh, my God. So the thing about this new microphone, how's it sound, by the way? Does it sound good? I've been testing it out, and there's a way for me to listen to my own voice, which is a bit bizarre, like a direct monitor of my own voice. And to me, this mic sounds fantastic. But the problem with it is it's kind of like before I had the blue Yeti thing, and it was kind of off to the side over here. Nope. Fucking mirror effect. God. Okay, whatever. Over here on my on this shoulder, over here. So it used to be over here, and it didn't really. I don't know. Anyways, it was out of the way. So now it's right in the way. So when I try to see the keys, When I'm typing something, I can't really see them. Okay. I don't know if I could spell. Okay, so we have part 2 here, and I think I mentioned this before, but I don't really, let me see if I get in the middle. I don't really write the names of the parts. I usually do all my stories in either 3 or 5 parts, depending how long it is or how the natural breaks are. I prefer 3 parts, but some books, especially books like Straw Man, or I think it's the first Drug Lord, no, Skeleton King, where you have a whole kind of sub storyline that takes place out of the main narrative. So in Skeleton King, it had to do with Drake and his like the things that happened to him in childhood. And so that was separate from the main storyline, so that added an additional part. So for that book, I probably had 4 or 5 parts. Can't remember. And then the Straw Man, when you have Hannah's backstory, that was also out of the main like linear narrative. That also added a part. But in general, I like to do 3-part structure. And you guys can, for you guys who pay attention to this sort of thing, there's like the actual official 3-part structure to the story. I don't really adhere to that. The rising action, the failing, and then the final conclusion. But naturally, that's what happens when I'm telling a story anyways. So I don't usually pick the names for the parts until I'm done. I get a better idea of what actually happened in that section. What's up, Vanessa? Thanks for the like. Rhonda, thanks for the like as well. Much appreciated. Yeah, that's the liking and following, that's the chat tax. So these streams are always going to be free, but there's a tax. Everything in life is taxed. Trust me, I live in Canada. And one of the taxes, you got to hit that like button. You got to hit that follow button. And I think if you do ! Notify in the chat, then it will notify you of every time I go live. Although, I don't know, I can't confirm that. I think people tried it last time. Oh, you like the sound? All right. My beautiful voice. Deep. James Earl Jones. Oh, yeah, part of the reason why... There you go, Susan. Thank you. You paid your chat tax. Welcome to the Thrilligan group. Oh, the reason why I got this mic, which is a fantastic mic, is that I want to use it for podcasts, and the other one just wasn't cutting it. So this one allows me a lot more post-production modification that I could do because it's an XLR versus USB mic. So I'm excited about that. I really want to get on that podcast train. Lately, I've been spending a lot of time. I don't know if you guys saw the banner. And listen, I do realize that I'm procrastinating a little bit. But I made this banner. I'm just going to head over to my Facebook page here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we'll drop this here. Oh, I'll move it over so you guys can see it. Okay. All right. I have no idea how to make it full screen or how to make the audio play. The fuck? All right, whatever. It's got that song, my opening song, the... Yeah, so I've been messing around a lot in After Effects and Photoshop, so I came up with this. Instead of having the static banner that I had before of the Almost Infamous, I've got this now kind of a video of a little bit of what I do on stream. Just give people a better idea. Some of the books. My brother was telling me that he got OCD because this one is part of the Drake series and it comes in and goes up there. But that's the only way I could get it to fit. All right. Let me shut this down. So I've been doing that. I did a new ad Let me go back. Lisa, you get notified, but you don't know how or why. I think Facebook works in quasi mysterious ways, but if you join often, which I know you do, and I appreciate it, then it's gonna tell you all the time when I go live, which is great. The problem is again that like Facebook just doesn't tell anybody. How was my Thanksgiving? I forgot about this, man. It's been a while since I streamed. My Thanksgiving was really good. I had an awesome time with the family. I do most of the cooking here, so I love to sous vide. So I sous vide'd a turkey, and we had Brussels sprouts with bacon, one of my favorites. We had stuffing or dressing. I don't know what you guys call it in the U.S. We call it dressing here. And we had mashed potatoes. It was a fantastic meal. I posted a picture on Instagram and on the Facebook group. It was kind of bittersweet though. I want to see my family, my parents, and my mother-in-law and my brothers, but everything's shut down, and unfortunately can't do that. We had plans to see them, so yeah, it was a little bittersweet. I'm hoping that things get better here in Montreal, so that in the upcoming holidays we can actually get together with our family, but we'll see. How was your guys' Thanksgivings? Good food, good times. A little too much to drink, a little too much apple juice. Oh, actually, I was gonna ask you guys for suggestions. If you have an idea of which author you'd want to come on the after hours session, then post it here or post it in the group. Oh, you have. Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys have American Thanksgiving. My buddy who did the logo, the Pathological Ink logo, he's American, and I told him, I was like, how can the American Thanksgiving be different from the Canadian one? Because if I understand correctly, like it's just like the final harvest of the year, right? And given the proximity and given the fact that, let's say, and from Boston, and Boston is directly south of us, I wondered why we would have a different Thanksgiving, why yours would be later than ours. Yeah. I know American Thanksgiving is in November. Jeez, I'm new to this thing. So yeah, and he actually he gave me a reason why it was, and he had looked it up and he told me, and I forgot it. I think it's bullshit. Should have the same one. I hope that in November, I don't know where you guys are at, but hopefully in November, the the situation with the pandemic is such that you are able to spend time with your family, friends, whatever. And listen, Ashley, with the caps locks, you don't need to shout at me, okay? I got 3 kids that do that enough. Let's just tone it down. You're gonna get banned. I'm gonna get the mods to ban you. All right, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I was telling before I got distracted. The year my first son was born, it was on Thanksgiving. Well, I guess that's something to be grateful for sure. But which one? American or Canadian? Dun dun dun. Yeah, one of the problems I had with this new mic is that because it's got a different interface. Yeah, listen, I get it, it's boring. Whatever. I'm gonna get to work. I'm just procrastinating here. And like Dragon didn't like it, so I think I got it working now, but it takes a couple more steps to get going. This is gonna be the first time that I'm actually doing any writing with it, so I do apologize if it fucks up, which it's apt to do. Oh, you were in the hospital? Okay. Hospital Thanksgiving food sucks. Generally, hospital food sucks, so yeah, Thanksgiving food. What did they give you? Like some microwaved turkey, some soggy ass potatoes. It took 3 phone calls. It took 3 phone calls. It took 3 phone calls. Period. M dash. Just 3 phone calls, and Chase found herself back into the fold. Period. New paragraph. The first had been to Floyd, comma, who had been almost giddy at the idea of Chase coming back and lending a hand. Period. The second had been to Louisa, who had also been excited, comma, more so about the prospect of having Georgina stay with her for a little while than Chase actually getting back to work. Period. New paragraph. The final call, comma, and surprisingly the one that Chase had been most hesitant to make, comma, had been to Director Hampton at the FBI. Period. New paragraph. She wasn't sure why she was apprehensive about this call, comma, particularly given the fact that Director Hampton had been reluctant to actually let her leave. Period. New paragraph. The man knew her talents, comma, or what her talents used to be, comma, and knew how good she was at what she did. Period. New paragraph. And he'd pushed her, comma, not always in the best way, comma, to achieve the result that he wanted. Period. New paragraph. Chase held a small amount of resentment for the man, comma, the fact that he had thrown her into the field, even knowing her issues, comma, even knowing that should she become totally engrossed in her work, there was a possibility that she would revert back to a lifestyle that nearly caused her death on many an occasion. Period. New paragraph. Not surprisingly, comma, Director Hampton's response wasn't at all in line with either Louisa's or Floyd's. Period. New paragraph. As usual, comma, the man's demeanor was calm and his affect flat. Period. New paragraph. But hidden beneath his professional tone was a tinge of happiness, comma, a scintilla of glee at the prospect of his best agent returning. Period. New paragraph. No amount of training could prevent that from coming to the surface. Period. New paragraph. Still, comma, the man's words were reserved, and he'd actually gone as far to say to Chase that this was only a temporary placement. Period. New paragraph. And yet, comma, based on his tone and his very selective phrases, comma, Chase began to wonder whether or not having Floyd out on his own, comma, whether or not putting the man on a case this complicated and this close to where Chase currently resided, comma, was all a ploy. Period. New paragraph. Don't be daft, comma, she thought, period. Not everything is about you, period, in a paragraph. Although, comma, at times, comma, it certainly felt that way, period, in a paragraph. If indeed Director Hampton was using Floyd just to get her to come back, comma, this was a fairly circuitous way of doing it, period, in a paragraph. But it had worked, period, in a paragraph. Chase could handle herself being used, hem dash. Hell, comma, she'd been used for years at the hands of Tyler Tisdale and others along the way, comma. But what she couldn't do is have people like Floyd, comma, innocent people who didn't deserve this sort of treatment, comma, to be taken advantage of, period, in a paragraph. And if she found out that this had been Director Hampton's plan, comma, she didn't care if the man was the director of the FBI or if he was the POTUS, semicolon. She'd have a chat with him, period, in a paragraph. A chat, comma, and perhaps something else, period, in a paragraph. Director Hampton had offered her a plane ticket, comma, which she had promptly refused, period. It wasn't just that Manhattan was less than a 2-hour drive from where she stood, and the whole process of getting onto a small plane, comma, even one commissioned by the FBI at a local airport, comma, would have taken likely twice as long, comma. But Chase loved the ability to control where she and where when she went, period, to paragraph. He'd offered her a car when she turned down the plane ticket, comma, but Chase's response had been the same, colon. No thanks, comma, I'm going to drive, period, to paragraph. The only problem with making the drive in her BMW was the fact that she had time by herself, comma, time to be lost in thought, period, to paragraph, time to reconsider her decision, period, to paragraph. But every time she thought about turning back, comma, Chase reminded herself that this wasn't just about her, period, nor was it just about the now 5 girls who had committed suicide, comma, period, new paragraph. It was also about Georgina, period. And what was best for her, period, new paragraph. And Louisa had agreed, semicolon, a time apart, comma, short as it likely would be, comma, would do them both good, period, new paragraph. As it was as was often the case in life, comma, by relinquishing the control of one thing, comma, gaining control of one thing, comma, you relinquish control of another, period, to paragraph. It was about balancing the two, comma, making sure the scales didn't tip in either one direction or the other, period, to paragraph. An impossible task, comma, to be sure, comma, especially for Chase Adams, period, to paragraph. Not much of a music fan, comma, Chase managed to drown out most of her thoughts by playing top 40 hits on the radio during her drive, period, to paragraph. At first, comma, it was difficult for her to get into it, comma, difficult for her to think about anything else but Georgina and what she might be doing with Louisa, comma, what the boys might be saying about that her boys might be saying about her past, period, to paragraph. Chase had made it clear on the phone that under no circumstance was Louisa or the boys to make any comments about Georgina's mother, comma, father, comma, or anything that happened to at the Butterfly Gardens, period, to paragraph. And when the woman had arrived arrived in flesh and blood, comma, Chase had reiterated this point, period, paragraph. But who could tell a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old what to do, question mark, and actually get them to listen, question mark, new paragraph. As Chase grew nearer to Manhattan, comma, however, comma, thoughts of Georgina eventually took up residence in the deep recesses of her mind, period. What came to the fore was the 5 young girls who had committed suicide, period, new paragraph. As was her preference, comma, she didn't ask Floyd or Director Hampton for many details when it came to the case of either of the separate but related suicides, period, paragraph. Sure, comma, she had a minor bias from what she'd seen on TV, comma, but she always took the news with a grain of salt. Period, new paragraph. She wanted to have a clear head when she stepped into the case, period, new paragraph. She wanted to do her thing, comma, to do her voodoo, period, new paragraph. The problem was, comma, it had been a long time since Chase had used her skill, comma, and even though this was something that she had put out of her mind since the Butterfly Gardens, comma, the last time she'd tried, comma, it hadn't worked, period, new paragraph. Something had happened when she'd been struck with the cattle prod, comma, something that had rewired her brain, period. It'll come back, comma, she thought, as the city grew nearer, period. It's like riding a bike, period. It'll come back, period, new paragraph. She swallowed hard, period, new paragraph. It has to, period, new paragraph. Floyd had suggested that they meet at 62nd Precinct, comma, which Chase had promptly turned down, period, new paragraph. She didn't want to go back there, period, new paragraph. It was too stale, comma, too stagnant, comma, and too many memories, period, new paragraph. No, comma, she wanted to go to the site of the crime, comma. Scene of the crime, period, new paragraph. Floyd had promised to meet her at 32nd 32nd Street subway station, comma. But he'd warned her that it was probably going to be open at that time, period, new paragraph. Despite the fact that 4 young girls had committed suicide there less than 48 hours ago, comma, New York was the city that never slept, period, new paragraph. Hell, comma. The thought threatened to sour Chase's mood, comma. The idea that this thought threatened to sour Chase's mood, comma, but she refused to allow it to grab hold, period, new paragraph. In the present, comma, she reminded herself, period. Stay in the present, period, new paragraph. Louisa had suggested that she go see the Dr. XYZ, comma, to talk about her intention of going back to work, comma, but there simply wasn't enough time, period, new paragraph. She could hardly justify the idea of working on herself when there were others out there that needed her, period, new paragraph. Following the directions on her cell phone, comma, in less than an hour and 15 minutes, comma, Chase arrived at 32nd Street Station, period, new paragraph. And as Floyd had warned. Floyd had warned her, comma, it was bustling with people. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. Fuck, comma, close quote. Chase muttered as she parked her car in a spot reserved for police officer vehicles. Period. New paragraph. The second she opened the door and stepped out of her vehicle, comma, the sounds and sights of New York City accosted her very soul. Period. New paragraph. It was such a stark contrast to what she was used to, comma, of the fresh country air, comma, of the sounds of birds and the buzzings of bees, comma, that for a moment it was overwhelming. Period. New paragraph. Chase placed her hand on the hood of her car and closed her eyes, comma, trying to collect herself. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. Chase, question mark, close quote. New paragraph. She took a deep breath in through her nose and breathed out through her mouth in a long, thin stream, comma, imagining that she was exhaling through a straw as Dr. XYZ had taught her. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. Chase, question mark, close quote. New paragraph. She repeated this 2 or 3 times, comma, when she heard someone approaching from behind. Period. New paragraph. She opened her eyes, pulled her hand off her car, and turned. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. Floyd Montgomery stood but 3 feet from her, comma, his eyes wide, comma, a big smile on his dark face. Period. New paragraph. Chase didn't even get a chance to look at the man with the sullen cheeks before Floyd nearly leapt at her, comma, holding her in a tight embrace. Period. New paragraph. Chase bumped up against her car, comma, the only thing that kept her from falling over, comma, and she just stood there as the man squeezed her tightly. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. I've missed you, comma, close quote. Floyd said, comma, his voice devoid of any of the stutter she was used to hearing from the man. Period. Open quote. I've fucking missed you. Period. Close quote. New paragraph. Chase suddenly felt the tension drain from her, and she hugged the man back. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. I've missed you too, comma, Floyd, comma, close quote. She said softly. Period. New paragraph. When Floyd didn't release the hug, comma, she forcibly removed his arms. Period. New paragraph. Open quote. But right now, comma, we have work to do. Period. Close quote. Okay. All right. So Chase is back in the action. She is back on board. She is temporarily back in the FBI. She's going to help out Chase and Dunbar, and she's going to get shit done because that's what Chase do. So what do you guys think so far of Adverse Effects? I know you guys are waiting for the Chase's typical voodoo. You're waiting for her to start hunting down bad guys or talking about how all the men in the group or in the NYPD are doing dick measuring contests and shit. And it'll come, man. Chase will be Chase. She's a bit different now. She's more laid back. She's got Georgina to look after, so she's not going to be the balls to the wall type of character that we're used to, unless she's pushed. And then Chase will be Chase no matter what. I'm going to have some coffee. Super cold. Pigeon again. Repping the local merch from the local store. My God. I have to say, I am super stoked by Maybe not. I was gonna say I'm super stoked with the way that Dragon is handling it. Get out of here. Actually, I think it's pretty good, man. I think the dictation, the accuracy is much better now. Maybe that's just wishful thinking because I got the new mic, but it seems to be better. I'm still having that problem with Jason instead of Chase, but whatever. No, I'm liking it. I'm digging it. All right. Like I said earlier, like the fewer errors I get while dictating, the faster I can edit. It just takes so much. When you have a 100,000 word manuscript and you have to go in and edit it, not just for content, but with these stupid little errors, I find that it detracts a bit from the editing of the story as a whole, just because you get bogged down with the details. The same way that for me, stopping and looking up what the psychiatrist's name is, because I forget, would slow me down to a point it would take me out of the story. Like I try to stay in the story when I'm editing as well, and so when I'm editing, if I can have fewer of these shitty little errors like Jason or I mean Flock is okay because I can't train it to say fuck, but like things that and things that I wrote that I really I don't understand afterwards, not because maybe because I it didn't make sense, but mostly because Dragon fucked it up and made a sentence that is nonsensical. Then that kind of pisses me off. It annoys me. It takes time to fix all those things. So I'm hoping that this is an indication of things to come and that Dragon is digging the new mic. All right, so I think for now, my idea is to have the idea is to have Chase as the sole point of view. Let's go back to this. So I'm gonna have Chase as the sole point of view. Oh man, the fucking this box is supposed to be Chad over here. Man. Uh, yeah, sorry guys. So this white box to the left of my head, that is supposed to be the chat. You guys were complaining last time, or I got some complaints that you couldn't see the Twitch chat, and I was answering a lot of Twitch questions. And so I put this box up here where the chat is supposed to show up so that you guys can see all of the comments, but obviously it's not working. I'll have to troubleshoot that later. Yeah, as I was saying though, man, that pisses me off. There's no way. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of ways to test like the alerts, the new likes, the new follows, blah 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 blah. I could test all those. I just can't test to see if the chat is working, and clearly it's not. I'll figure it out though. Yeah, as I was saying, my idea is to have this section of the book be purely Chase's point of view. So Floyd's not gonna have a point of view. He'll be there, of course, but there's gonna be no point of view for Chase, for Floyd, and then something's going to happen, spoiler, and then in the third we're going to have their separate point of views again, and then they'll coalesce. So that's kind of my idea. I love that. It just gives you this kind of hourglass type of thing where you have multiple. Why would you do that? Okay, whatever. So you have these multiple point of views here starting out, and then you pinch into one, and then you come back out to multiple. And you could also do that the other way around too. You could have a very narrow point of view and then go wider in the center and then focus again. I think both could work. Just getting caught up here. Rhonda says, doesn't look like they were spending time with family. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Same here. Hopefully, though, you guys can do some virtual cheers, something like that. We're all making sacrifices, I know. All right. I think I'm all caught up. Yeah, that bothers me, man. Why is the chat not showing up? Susan and Johnny. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's hiding some negligee or something I like to hang there. Nah. It's supposed to be a chat box, man. The alerts work fine. They come up right here. Oh, you can't see my mouse. But right above it, that's the spot for the alerts. And then, oh. It worked. It's fucking font 1. Ah! No, what have I done? I'm moving this around so I can see better. It worked. There you are, Victoria. You're there. Okay. Why is it so small? I'm going to see if I can change that right now. Oops. Did you guys see the chat when we were talking before? Or is this the first time? Oh, it resets every time. Okay. Hell yeah, I am. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to move the chat box on top of everything. Boom. You fixed it. It's still a bit small. All right, let me see if I can change the color because I'm going to go. Yeah, okay. It resets every time I change. I muck with something. Okay, I think we got it. I think that's a good font. Hopefully you guys can read that. No, it's not white. What are you talking about? It's black. You gotta get them lookers fixed. Cause that's black. Black on black. There we go. Black and on the white background. All right, cool. So I think I got that fixed. I think though if I switch away, it might. We're gonna try this. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, okay. It goes away. That's all good. It's all good gravy. Okay. Yeah, that sound, by the way, is from Inception, which is one of my... Nah, you don't see white. It's black. Sneaky sneak. There you go. It's black. You guys are all colorblind. That sound is from Inception, which is still one of my favorite movies of all time. I really wanted to get out and see Tenet, Christopher Nolan's new film, because I think he does a great job with his movies. Love almost every one of them. But unfortunately, I didn't get a chance before things shut down again. And that's one of the movies that you have to watch in theaters. I have a huge home theater in the basement, 125-inch screen. It's fantastic. But there's just something about going to one of those IMAX showings where you just have such immersive experience. And also, you're kind of disconnected. So when I can go watch a movie in the basement, I'm still kind of in my home. So there are distractions there. There are different things that kind of detract a little bit from the whole movie experience. I mean, which doesn't matter when you're watching some Nickelodeon movie with the kids, but when you're watching a movie like Tenet, I really believe you got to be there in theater, completely focused, that sort of thing. So I'm going to wait till it comes out on, or when the theaters open again and see if I can go see it. But in the interim, Inception, there we go. Okay, we're going to get back at it. I think right now I want to dig into this case a little bit more. So we have 5 girls dead, all committed suicide. 4 jumped in front of the subway, and 1 committed suicide at home. I don't really know. I'm thinking maybe pills. I don't know. And we have no idea why. Parents come from mixed bag of homes, but like all decent homes. There you go. All, decent homes. And so, yeah, so that's the mystery here. And we're going to find out exactly why they did this. Chase is going to investigate. Chapter 23, new paragraph. Open quote. This is where it happened, question mark, close quote. Chase asked as she peered down into the stairs that descended into the subway system, period, new paragraph. Open quote. This is the station, comma. It happened on the north side, comma. Down at the bottom, period. Close quote. Detective Dunbar informed her, period, new paragraph. He continued to speak after answering her question, comma, but Chase completely ignored every word that came out of the man's mouth, period, new paragraph. The place was bustling with activity, comma, and part of Chase wished that she'd come at a less busy time, period, new paragraph. Then she reminded herself that this was New York City, period, new paragraph. There were no, open quote, not busy times, close quote, new paragraph. And yet, comma, with just a little bit of effort, comma, Chase managed to force the people that milled about, comma, that rushed up and down the stairs that they either made their way to or away from the subway train, comma, out of her mind, period, new paragraph. In fact, comma, she was surprised to find out that she could actually almost delete them entirely, comma, wipe them out like a background on a image prior to posting it to Instagram, period, new paragraph. Open quote. What is she doing? Question mark, close quote. Chase heard Dunbar ask Floyd from behind her, period, new paragraph. Floyd hushed the man, comma, and Chase pushed them further away, period, new paragraph. Breathing rhythmically, comma, Chase slowly descended the staircase, comma, moving as if she were the only person there, period, new paragraph. She tried to put herself in the shoes of the 4 teenagers, comma, sipping on their iced lattes, comma, maybe giggling to each other, comma, constantly checking their phones, period, new paragraph, waiting for one message in particular, period, new paragraph. And at first, comma, this seemed to work, period. Before, comma, back when she'd first joined the FBI, comma, when she'd headed to Alaska, comma, she'd needed to touch the bodies of the deceased, period. That would trigger their subconscious to facilitate the narrative of the develop the narrative of the last moments of the person's life, comma, to stitch together all of the things that she'd seen at the scene that others had overlooked, comma, that her own conscious mind had ignored, period, new paragraph. In this case, comma, the bodies had long since been removed, comma, and as she neared the platform, comma, she realized that there was no evidence of the horrors that had transpired here just 48 hours ago, period, new paragraph. There was no smell of blood in the air, comma, just grease and the ubiquitous scent that was quintessential New York City, period, new paragraph. There was no brain matter or hair on the tracks, comma. No broken glass from the cell phones she knew had been destroyed upon impact, period, new paragraph. There was, nothing, period, new paragraph. It saddened her deeply to think that life could go on. Chase suddenly looked up, comma. Chase. And when she spotted a girl much like the image she'd seen on the computer, news of one of the deceased, a girl with stark blonde hair and a white blouse, comma, sporting red lipstick and blush on her cheeks, she was pulled from the out of her own mind, period, new paragraph. Suddenly, comma, she was no longer alone, semicolon. There were dozens of people milling about, comma, jostling her, comma, speaking loudly on their cell phones, comma, their running shoes or heels or dress shoes clacking on the hard concrete tiles, period, new paragraph. There was an uncanny whine in the air, too, comma, a whine mixed with the hum of electricity that fueled the subway, period, new paragraph. Again, comma, Chase felt overwhelmed and reached out for the wall to brace herself, period, new paragraph. No sooner had she done this as Floyd at her side again, period, new paragraph, open quote, "You okay, comma, Chase, question mark, close quote," he asked, comma, just a hint of a stutter in his voice, period, new paragraph, open quote. "I'm fine, comma, close quote," she said from between clenched teeth, period, new paragraph. Chase took another deep breath and then looked up at the two men who stood beside her, period, new paragraph. It was Dunbar who looked most concerned, comma, oddly, semicolon. Dunbar, comma, whom looked as if he's aged more than 20 years since the last time she'd seen him, period, new paragraph. Open quote, "I'm fine, comma, close quote," she said again, comma, this time directing the words towards Dunbar, period, new paragraph. Unlike Floyd, comma, the man's expression did not change, period, new paragraph. Chase held her gaze. The detective's gaze for a few moments longer, and eventually the man looked away, period, new paragraph, open quote. "There's a security camera up there, comma, tucked in the corner, period. It captured everything that had happened, period. The four girls stood here, comma, right on the ledge, comma, answered when they got a text, period. Then they just held hands and jumped, period, close quote." Dunbar nearly whispered that final word, period, new paragraph. Chase nodded, comma. This was pretty much the narrative that they'd given on the news, comma, which was unexpectedly accurate, period, new paragraph, open quote. "And the other girl?" question mark, close quote. Chase said softly, comma, now cognizant of the fact that there were others around her, period, new paragraph. "Unfortunately, comma, Floyd had while Detective Dunbar was in his Unfortunately, comma, while Detective Dunbar was sporting his casual attire, comma, and Chase herself was wearing but a pair of jeans and a black blouse, comma, Floyd had worn his FBI K-way over top of a dress shirt, period, new paragraph. She assumed it was because he felt self-conscious, comma, as if he needed a constant reminder that he was the one in the FBI, period, new paragraph, that he was the one in charge, period, new paragraph. But it didn't seem as if anybody in the subway station noticed them, period. Or if they did, comma, they just overlooked them, period, new paragraph. What a sad state of affairs that 4 girls could commit suicide here and people just went about their daily lives as if nothing happened, period, new paragraph. That they could see an FBI officer, comma, here in the subway station and not blink twice, period, new paragraph. Open quote. Dunbar's face twisted, period, new paragraph, open quote. Self-inflicted knife wounds to the wrists, period. Bled out on her bed, period, close quote, new paragraph. Chase nodded, period, new paragraph. It was the most likely method of suicide for females, period, new paragraph. Jumping in front of the subway, comma, however, comma, was uncommon, period, new paragraph. The risk of becoming injured, comma, open quote. Any idea what the text was? Question mark, close quote. Chase said, comma, mostly to kill time, comma. Give herself more time to collect her thoughts, period. She already knew the answer before Floyd uttered it, period, new paragraph, open quote. We're working on it, comma, but so far, comma, we have no idea, period, close quote, new paragraph. Chase nodded and looked around again, comma, her eyes moving from one oblivious businessman to another, period, of paragraph. She knew that killers like to return to the scene of their crime, comma. But in this case, comma, the girls weren't coming back, period, of paragraph, open quote. You want to, dot, dot, dot. You want to go down there? Question mark, close quote. Floyd asked, period, of paragraph. Chase made a face and followed the man's gaze towards the tracks, period, of paragraph, open quote. No, comma, close quote, she said sharply, period, new paragraph, open quote. Well, comma, do you want to, M dash, close quote, new paragraph. Chase looked around again, comma, and then straightened, period, new paragraph. It was clear that whatever voodoo she'd enacted coming down those steps, comma, was gone, period, new paragraph. As was any evidence that might have been left behind, period, new paragraph, open quote. I want to get out of here, comma, close quote, she said. Period. New paragraph, open quote. Dunbar nodded, period, new paragraph, open quote. I could set you back up at 62nd Precinct, period. Real estate there is at a premium, comma, but I can get you and Floyd in my office, comma, maybe, period. Then I can show you what, M dash, close quote, into paragraph. Chase shook her head, period, into paragraph, open quote. No, comma, I don't want to go there, period. I want to go somewhere else, comma, somewhere private, comma, somewhere where we could be. Somewhere quiet, period. Somewhere where we can be alone, period, close quote, into paragraph. Dunbar looked up a little bit as if you were racking his brain for a locale that fit this description, period, new paragraph. Floyd also mimicked this expression, period to paragraph. Eventually, comma, the big detective started to scratch the back of his neck, period to paragraph, open quote. My apartment is M dash close quote to paragraph. Once again, Chase shook her head, period to paragraph, open quote. No, comma, I have somewhere else in mind, period. A place that an old friend owns, period, close quote. Okay, a bit anticlimactic at the end there. I'm gonna change that a little bit, give it more oomph. But yeah, So Chase is working on her voodoo. She's trying to get it to work like it used to, but it's not happening. She's going to a place that we all know that we're repping. Wait. This is where she's going. There you go. She's going to DSLH. Spoiler. What time is it, man? I am hungry. It's 12:46. Hey, thank you, Andy and Matt, for the likes. Much appreciated. I'm gonna take a little break here, guys. I'm gonna get some lunch in me, and I'm gonna come right back and do a little bit more this afternoon. Listen, this was the big merch reveal stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, pin comments in the chat if you guys want to pick up some merch gear. I don't want to see you guys rep here. I know if we go by book sales alone, here's the thing, right? If we go by book sales alone, Chase is the favorite. Hands down. No one comes close. Second is Drake, and third is Beckett. But if we go by the amount of shit I got for shutting down Beckett's series, then Beckett is definitely number one. Beckett fans are the most vocal, and they make it known that they miss him and that they want him to come back on both Facebook and in emails that I get. So I want to see who gets repped the most here. Beckett, Drake, or Chase. You guys enjoy your lunch. I will return in about an hour. So far, we've put together about 2,600 words. So it's a good start for the day, though. I want to push pretty hard today. See if we can get moving forward on this story. And I'll be back in about an hour. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon.